in the middle?
Go in the middle.
It's still.
This is weird.
Wait, sometimes I feel like MMA is such a fast-moving sport.
I'm sorry.
That it doesn't pay tribute properly to the legends that came before the current stars. Why was it important to you to pay tribute to a legend like Mark?
It was important to me and to Emily to pay tribute to Mark because of the life he lived. And as you said, MMA moves fast, and it's an accelerated sport. And everyone is getting better and better and better every day. You know this. Yeah. We have found this out as we made this movie. So what an opportunity it is for us to acknowledge Mark and the road that he paved. I met Mark in '97 at Gold's Gym in Venice, and or '97, '98, just as his career, it was like as he was becoming the animal that he eventually became. He was the animal back then, but also you think of this long, incredible road and journey for Mark, like all these fighters, all of them, men, women, and I think to come here at the Hall of Fame to be acknowledged is beautiful. Mark said something to me earlier. I said, "How do you feel? What's the feeling?" He said, "Acceptance."
Yeah,
it's a big deal, and I'm very proud.
No, thank you, man.
Emily, for you, I don't know if you're particularly into UFC or MMA.
She is now.
She is now. Yeah.
After this experience, after the movie.
Of
I was
course.
going to say, for all of you three, I'd like to hear this one. If you had one fight you could show a non-MMA fan make them into an MMA fan, which fight would you show them?
Oh boy.
Well, you want to answer that first because I have
So
an answer.
it's so probably anything in the John Jones category.
Controversial subject right now.
Very controversial, but still though, legacy, right? It doesn't matter what people think about him. Him as a fighter, he was just something you had never seen before. It reminded me of like watching Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson was in his heyday, you were watching something you'd never seen before, and John Jones is the same type of fighter. He was dismantling fighters that you thought were the best fighter in the world, and then we get in front of John and you go, "Oh man, I never seen that before." And that's what we're talking about, this pace of this industry. It started pulling more people of talent that could have went and done something else into the UFC because the money got better. And so talent got better. And when talent gets better, it promotes talent to get better. Right? It sets a new standard every time. So John Jones, I'd go, you want to be a fan, just pick any John Jones fight, and there you go.
I would say, and it is because we love Mark, but I would go back to it's a thing that I share with people who don't know maybe Mark's career and it's the first thing that I showed Emily when we were making this movie. It was Mark's original Vale Tudo tournament down in Brazil, and when you take a moment to say, hey, just know where the UFC is today and these fighters, these men and women, but I want to give you a little bit of context. He's never fought a day in his life. He's never had a fight. This is the first fight he's ever had. Flies down to Brazil, Vale Tudo. It's a tournament. Yeah. And people say, what does that mean? I said, well, if you win, you go on.
Yeah.
I go, the next day? I said, no, that night. Yeah. And if you win again that night, you go on.
Yeah.
He never fought. He was in the back throwing up.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't want to go out. And he walks
terrible.
out there. The footage is incredible. He walks out there and he wins. And he wins. And he wins. Yeah. And he wins the whole thing. And I tell people when I showed Emily, like, very little rules, no gloves. He sticks his thumb in his opponent's.
It was.
So I would say that.
Yeah.
Wait, when you're playing a real life person, is there a different amount of responsibility to do a role like that, and how close do you get as part of that process?
It's incredibly difficult. We had the unbelievable privilege of playing Mark Kerr. Emily played Dawn Staples, who was Mark's girlfriend, eventually became his wife. They have a beautiful son who's here today. And it's a responsibility. It's an incredible responsibility because this is a real man. It's a real man, real woman. They were in a real relationship and they were living a real life of going through it, ups and downs and demons and angels. And so, Mark and I got very close. We all got very close.
Yeah.
Emily,
What?
I would like you to talk about your experience.
No, I'll let someone ask a question.
I'll ask the
I will.
question. So, Emily. Okay.
And are you a UFC fan now?
Well, now the respect and reverence for me is just I mean, I don't even know how to form words about it, because I think to have learned so much about it, to have immersed myself in that world, to have played someone who was on the receiving end of a lot of what comes with that world, was really poignant. And I think the film really explores the human struggle, of what goes on behind the scenes, of just the kind of mental fortitude that you have to have, and the staying power and the pressure, and every fight is a new mountain range. And I think the fallout from that and what happens afterwards, win or lose, was so fascinating to me on a human level. And I thought so much about fear. Like, it's something that I could never imagine stepping into a ring and knowing that that someone could hurt you badly enough that you would lose. And then what happens after the loss, and the pressure of needing to win. I think I was just so fascinated by the world and in awe of it, of the courage.
And in terms of that responsibility you speak about, we're from New Zealand, we have a large Pacifica audience. This story has also brought you as a role model for Samoan children and adults from outside of the world as well. Talk about that responsibility to the Pacifica and Māori audience.
Well, I'm very proud of my culture, and my family, a lot of them still over there in New Zealand, awkward Greyland area. Go Greyland! I want to bring it back to Mark, though, because the important thing I think about Mark is, yes, he was an MMA legend, a pioneer, he was one of the godfathers, and had this incredible career, gets capped off beautifully tonight, and this incredible acknowledgement that's so earned. But Mark's story is a universal story that little kids, Pacific Island kids, little Samoans, Tahitian, Tongan, Maori, whatever it is, like his story is something that resonates with me and for people all around the world. So even in New Zealand, by the way, and there's some tough, I always like to say, in Samoa they're very tough, and the men are even tougher. Women.
Sorry, the show started.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. I can, no.